As a kid in the 90s, when I heard the song Lithium by Nirvana, I never really digged in or got curious about how Kurt Cobain came up with the chord progression. But there are some chords in the chord progression that I get. I understand it sounds good. These are all mostly power chords, so you can get away with just power chords and just jumble them up because there are no thirds. It's just the root and the fifth. So it's just root, fifth, and maybe an octave sometimes. So I never really tried to dig into the details or the theory behind it. Sometimes you get interviews, because this is pre-internet time, so there are not much material about theory and interviews, just very short videos of the band that you liked before. So this is on standard tuning. It has a different tuning on Nirvana, but on standard tuning, it's E power chord, G sharp, C sharp, A, C, D, B, D. So it'll sound like this with some open strings. So that's the chord progression of most of the song. That's the verse, the intro to the verse. Okay, and then he came up with a A and C as a chorus, just repeating. Okay, but that's a chorus, very simple. And the really highlight of the song for me was the bass line. Something like that. It goes like, I'm sure it's not exactly the notes, but that was the highlight for me. I was like, oh, okay. So E, it was on an octave E, and on G, he just took the fifth, and then on C sharp, he just went to the root. A, root to the fifth to the D of the fifth of the D, and then back to the root of B. So it makes sense when I was looking at the structure of the chords. So Chris Novoselic did that, and that I got it right away. But here are the chords that I'm talking about. From E to G sharp, that's like a major. Then a C sharp, that's also part of a major, E major. Okay, so that's like a major scale. Up to A. Went back to A, but there's kind of a shift here from C sharp to A. It suddenly went to C. So we know that sounds good. A. It does that with About a Girl. E minor to G. That's an interval of a third, minor third. Right? That sounds good. So maybe he was thinking, okay, where do we go from here? That's different. You can't go. It doesn't work that way in his mind, I think. So nowhere else to go but to C. Okay, and from here it switches to like an A minor, C, D, right? C, D, and then B, and then back to D, and then it goes back to E major. So it's kind of a weird chord progression, borrowed chords from different keys and shifting, but still fits in the total tonality of the song. And you'll see in the chorus, I think it was thinking A minor. Or it could be a major. It could be that way too. Either way, it could go either way. So that I think is the. I'm not sure. This is just my theory about that. That's just too difficult for my brain to process. But yeah,